Hey, welcome, welcome. I'm trying to get my headphones untangled. They got tangled when I came out here. There we go. Okay. I popped up because we had a pretty great Christmas. I'm still, I can't find a certain thing that I wanted to have. And of course, as soon as I get on live, my son just came over here and sat right down across from me. He was way over there doing his thing. Hold on one second. Hey, girly, what's up? Hey, the real DJ Fruit Loop. Hope your day is good too. Anyway, I popped up because our Christmas was pretty good. I'm still missing the pajamas that we were going to use to take our family Christmas pictures. I rebought them to take it, but I'm so mad that I had to do that. I'm still looking. Right now, hey, good to see you. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you guys can make it. I wasn't sure who could make it, and I don't have much time because of course hubby comes home from work soon. But I popped up because I'm sure some of you have heard from it about it. I mean, not from it, about it. And yes, I lost his pajamas. It's the total opposite of every year. Usually I know where my pajamas are for the picture, and I know where Malachi's are. And, I know where my husband's and my daughter's are. I'm the finder. Well, the finder's broken. It's just broken, and I don't know where his and mine are. But one thing I popped on because I was so disappointed. My mom used to have a set of Pyrex that I loved. They were the primary Pyrex colors. So it was like blue, red, green, and yellow. Well, I was so excited because this lady was selling the yellow bowls on OfferUp. In fact, two. So I thought, I can resell one and keep the other. Cool. It's just like the one that was missing from when my mom moved. Probably my sister took it. She took probably the stuff. And she took the stuff with her. And yeah, I love vintage Pyrex too, Hardneck Farm. So this is gonna not make you happy, and I'm sorry for this, but I want to protect people too. And some people are just like, oh, well, that's not on the inside. Some of them actually do in the glass have some too. Not necessarily all Pyrex, but this is anything that is older. We're talking about prior, like 1970, I believe. Anyway, so this is, I'm going to lift up the yellow bowl. This is one of them. This is the one that has the matte finish because it's old. But look, this one is almost premium condition for such an old bowl. These are about from the 1950s. And what you'll notice is I'm wearing gloves. Any of these bright colors from that era have lead. They're all testing positive for lead. So we're not talking a little bit of lead. We're talking like extreme doses of lead. And why that's important is because you can absorb it through your skin. And your body, if you look at the chart in chemistry, your body does not separate lead from carbon. And yeah, it is. It's on a lot of dishes, but the dishes will usually say for display only, some of them, Fruit Loop. So these don't. And people are still I was using this mixing bowl. I made my hot crab dip in it this year. And then some people be like, oh, but it's not the inside. The milk glass inside is fine. Okay, but when you mix with a bowl, you hold the outside and you mix. Then you go and you touch everything else. Not to mention, while you're holding it, it's absorbing through your skin. And the dose is really high. You can go and look it up and research that number for yourself. But it's beyond what's, allowed anymore. Let me take off my gloves and not touch things, a bunch of things. So now the question comes is, what do you think I should do with these things? I don't know what to do. Display wise, they will decay. They can cause lead dust in your house. The same thing, you will not believe this, Christmas trees. The plastic Christmas trees that you have, quite a few of them have lead, and you need to look that up. If you use artificial Christmas trees, especially the older they are, it just boggles my mind. For my son who's autistic, lead poisoning looks very similar and acts very similar with behaviors. He tested low with lead when he was younger, but I don't want anything in the house that's going to make it worse for him. Like, I don't want to expose him to lead, especially in the kitchen near our food, and then handling the dishes that don't have lead. It also is Corelle, like early Corelle, any of their designs you have to test. All the designs on the vintage Pyrex are showing up positive for lead. I know you see like the younger generation are like, oh, it's no big deal. It's a big deal. People's intelligence, hey, Hugo, people's intelligence actually went up when they started making, like worldwide, when all the countries said, okay, enough is enough with this lead being added into paints and making it brighter and added into, various things, even into gas, which, we breathe in, it helps with the engine and the combustion to make it smoother. So yeah, I was shocked and I was really disappointed, but now I have no idea if should I put them in the bag and shatter them and then use them with plastic gloves, make a mosaic and put like it under varnish? Would that, at least be able, like I would be able to kind of use it? I don't know what to do with it because I don't feel right in my heart selling it or gifting it to someone. I just don't. And I can't just gift it to somebody anyway. It's like kind of heavy to ship out, but I wouldn't want to, So I am stuck with not knowing what to do with not only this vintage Pyrex, I have some others. I have the one that has the mushroom, the woodland theme. I have a casserole from that. Now I'm concerned about my cornflower. I believe it's Corningware. Hold on one second. He's playing with something. Sorry, he's messing. My husband has his chair here and he's messing with a light above it and messing with it. If you sell it, just let them know there's no lead in it. Yeah, but I mean, it's a really, really high dose. Like for people who might be sensitive to that, it could really make them sick. I don't know. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, Harnack Farm. I totally understand. Under glass. Yeah, they might put it up in. That's true. And I'm wondering if I can do that. Like, put it, like, what am I trying to? That's the other thing. I have all the blue dishes and I want to know about them more now. Like, I have my depression glass from my great grandmother. Everything is like, I feel like everything is kind of suspect now after finding, like refinding that out. I think I kind of knew that because I went searching for it. I was like, wait a minute, something's telling me to search for Pyrex and lead. And sure enough, I started researching and it's really high. And then same thing, if you have those Spode dishes, I'm just spreading happiness today. The Christmas dishes from Spode, where it has little Santa Claus on top of the Christmas tree, the older it is, the more lead it contains, and it contains still enough lead in it that you really don't want to be eating off of it. Great, like, Diva's saying, for display. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be comfortable with it in my house now after finding that out. Like, I have a ledge, but it's in my kitchen where I could put it up in a way. But I also know, like, I have my mom's the milk glass left over from the smallest one, which used to be blue. And she didn't know. She put them in the dishwasher. So yeah, the blue came off. Now it's just milk glass. Yes, it does leach out. That's been proven. It does. It does leach out because it's decaying slowly, Grandma Merkel. It does. It leaches into your skin. And if you look at the chemistry, and it is right, lead is right below carbon. Off. Lead is right below carbon, and our bodies will absorb it just like they will absorb carbon. So if you're touching it, your skin can absorb it. So it's just like taking an Epsom salt bath. So yeah, it does. It leaches. It definitely leaches out. And that's what I was going to say when they started saying, like, you need to cut down on the lead and it needs to be below this level. They watched the intelligence of globally where they did this, where they told them, okay, this is your lead level you're allowed to have. It was way lower than these things have. They watched basically the intelligence of people go up. Oh, okay. All right. That sounds good, Wendy. But yeah, it can leach out. That's what I was going to say. It actually scratches off when you're cleaning it. So where's that going? With, I don't know if I have if I turn the light on, like right now, you can't see it, plus the camera the way it is. But if you put it up to a light, you'll be able to see the microscopic scratches, like, the fine scratches, the chips of that lead paint coming off. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. If I display it, it's getting covered with some type of sealant. And then, of course, I wonder what's in the sealant. But with the Christmas trees, they were saying too, if you don't have lead in your, fake Christmas tree, you have what is called, I can't remember the name of the chemical, but it is a cancer-causing flame retardant. Hold on one second. My son is deciding to just really act up right now. He is at a level of, some toddler behavior when I gotta take this off, when I am talking on the phone or he sees me that I'm finally engaged on here at all. That's why daytime ones have been difficult. He was eating paper towel and, dancing around thinking it was hilarious because he knows he's not supposed to do it. I know, it's so hard, Huga. I love the vintage Pyrex. I was even looking at some of the patterns that have the turquoise. They're very, very like collectible. But now don't want more of it. And the thing is it's like that bowl connects me to my mom and my grandmother. Like that was what she made her Christmas cookies in all those years. No wonder why I have problems with my brain. Just kidding. Yeah, mine doesn't stay up long either. I used to keep it up long when we had our Theron's daughter here, our daughter, and now our grandchildren. They're so cute. Oh my gosh. But just because they had two families already. They were visiting for Christmas and we never wanted to be stressing them out too much. Oh, nobody's judging you for taking it down. Are you kidding? That's fine, Huga. I still have to find those Christmas pajamas so I can return the other ones. I know I have the French white too by Corel. I have the French white. I have the cornflower pattern. Yeah, I have to check a lot of stuff. I need to actually go ahead and maybe just get a lead testing kit. Only my right wrist hookah acts up during storms, but that's because I sprained it really bad. I know even with my migraines, I went and I had my neck adjusted, and it can be connected to your wrists. I know some people who have carpal tunnel, and it's actually not carpal tunnel, it's their neck. I had a teaching chiropractor actually pick me up and adjust my neck when I was having migraines, and it helped a bit, but you know, mine were menstrual, so every month I was getting them. They were horrible. Felt like I was doing alien birth out the back of my head. Yeah, that's what I used to do, Q. I used to go from Christmas to doing some winter stuff in my classroom. That's when we would be like Antarctica and do, you know, animals that are up in Antarctica or up in Alaska, and we would make them with the elementary kids and, you know, do cutting practice. I miss that. I definitely miss that. I miss my little elementary kids and how excited they got. Sheena, what's up, girl? It's good to see you. Yeah, it can be related to a pinched nerve in your neck, but my one right wrist when I was in high school, um, a stray ball was coming at me, and it was a soccer ball. So you know those soccer balls, just like thank you, just like a basketball, have a weight to them, and I put up my hand. Not You're not allowed to use your hands, but I put it up because it was coming at my face. I couldn't bend down in time to, you know, and it bent this back so extremely that I had a bump. It almost looked like it dislocated my wrist. And the doctor said it was just a pretty bad sprain, and I had to wear, you know, a little brace for quite a while, and then I was okay. Thank God. But now when we have bad storms and stuff, it can act up, or if I have too much sugar, and I know Sheena knows there's too many carbs in my diet or too much sugar, which there's definitely right now because I'm eating Christmas cookies. They're gluten-free, but still. The butterballs don't seem to aggravate me as much as those cute, like the peanut butter with the little kiss on top. I always forget what they're called. It's really simple and I can't remember it right now. But those, I don't have as many, plus they're for my daughter. But yeah, that was, you know, my mom made Christmas cookies and that. And now, too, like, what about stainless steel? Do we know of stainless steel? Like, that's where everybody heads to, is over towards stainless steel. But with so much coming in from out of the country, it's like it gets your mind going as to, okay, what else do I have? Like, that's just display piece, but I can imagine it's got some in that green paint. It's probably got some lead because it's older. That was made by one of my mom's good friends back in probably the 60s. So hopefully it's okay. Just sitting there. Yeah, I won't touch the uranium glass. I know, Sheena, and it looks so cool when you see it and they light it up and it's like, oh, it's glowing in the dark. And then I think of those poor women who are working with uranium on watches to make them glow in the dark. And remember, they were painting their nails and they were putting it on their face and they were showing them like, oh, this stuff is really cool. I think all the women ended up dying because they got uranium poisoning. Like, it was just such a simple time. They didn't know. They really just didn't know. Like, okay, without sick. Ladders or even chairs without following. I don't get that. I'm missing something there. But yeah, so that was the lovely, wonderful news I needed to deliver to my friends in case they are handling, you know, vintage Pyrex and using it to cook, is check the lead levels. They are so high, so high. And who knows? You might have other lead exposure that you just don't even know if you're a collector of vintage, dishes and bakeware. Yeah, I won't touch any of that with uranium, right? You get that visual of those poor women. And it's the coolest looking stuff, especially, thank you. Especially like I was actually bidding on to get the rest of the set because it's a green and somebody outbid me. I think it was a God thing because I had a bid in, I was winning and they outbid me in the last like second. I would have been like, oh, what do I do? Because too, for him, it has to be displayed. If I displayed it, it has to be way up high. Or it has to be in my china cabinet, which, like I said, right now it's full. It's got my great grandmother's blue depression glass. I have the modern tone. Oh, okay. It was missing that word falling, not following. Okay. That makes sense. I'm just like, I get off balance sometimes pretty easy now with the fibro. And I actually saw somebody else talking about their fibro, and I was like, probably should have that conversation too of fibro and medications sometime on Fibro Fridays because I heard this woman talking about how she actually went into her doctor and showed them the medication that she still has that she's not abusing because she knew in her family there was abuse. So she had that like fear that was, that they would think that and not prescribe her something else that she needed instead. And I've done that. I've taken in and been like, hey, I'm really only taking half of this. And the nurse kind of reacted like, well, then why don't you just have them cut it in half? Because if I go into a complete flare, I might have to take a couple more, during the day until the flare is gone. Plus, this was all during like 2020 stuff. And I was like, I want an emergency supply too, set aside. Oh, you exhausted. Yeah, I was that way. I've been that way too. My thing is my plantar fasciitis on my left foot is just excruciating for doing all the cooking. Yeah, every day's different. You don't know what you need to use. And everybody's like, oh, well, you should do medical marijuana. Yeah, if you want to like nap. It's great stuff, but eventually even the sativa, you're gonna nap. You're gonna take a nap. It is, but it does help. I'm it's great for nighttime. As far as like, I don't smoke anything. I will not vape. I will not, smoke it. I protect my lungs. Fibrosis of the lungs can happen so easily. I do not mess with things that go into my lungs because that's how I lost a brother. But he was also a chronic smoker for years. Barry, good to see you. Not much. I was just like breaking the bad news about if you have Pyrex, like the vintage Pyrex, it's loaded with lead. So there's that. But it's, some of us women and even some men collect it because it really, it has that nostalgic, like, oh, the good memories of Christmas when I was young, or the Christmas I want to create for my kids. And yeah, it's just a bummer. Since I have home, I cannot bend over to you. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, yeah. Like the dustpans on a stick. Those are great. Yeah. My husband has to help me with a lot of that. So I'm glad that you have help. You don't have any fancy schmancy Pyrex? Well, I'm just letting you know if you see something like a really nice bowl at the thrift store, not to necessarily go for it. If it says Pyrex in capital letters and it has a bright color on the outside. It's also like I was going to turn around and maybe make some money, but it appears that where I found the Pyrex, so did all the other Pyrex lovers. And I know another YouTuber who uses Pyrex, and I've actually complimented them on it. And I need to touch base with them and see what they know about it, because, yeah, it's like once you have that knowledge, you don't want it dismissed and like, oh, it's not going to do anything. No, that there's a reason why they cut down on lead, because it was making, it goes into your brain and it makes you stupid. That's basically what it does. Is lead lowers your intelligence. It affects the brain, and then by affecting the brain, it affects your nervous system, and you can have all kinds of other problems with your nervous system. I'm not really sure if it's only the colored, but I believe so. Right now, it's mostly to do with the paints that they used back then. Really, it's like a glaze, but it's not. For some reason, Pyrex is like glaze on their brighter bowls. It scratches easily and comes off easily. Hey, Glenn. And like I showed you, where's my gloves? I'll just put one back on. Like, I don't even want to touch it now. That's how high the lead content was that came up. And this is somebody who has a machine that, like, the government has to test things, and it was super, super high. And then other people have tested it with those Q-tip test kits from like Home Depot. But if anybody, I have a little time. If anybody wants to come up, I can drop the link. Oh, look at this. I'm just so handy. I know, such a dad joke. I can't get it back on. These are small because my hands are small. I think this is the opposite one because I'm a goofball. I think I stretched it out already for my right hand, but I'll show you guys the difference, and you can see that the stuff wears off. And they specifically, if you're a collector, the collectors always say, do not put vintage Pyrex in the dishwasher because it will wear off the finish. Oh, what the hell? That's right. I'm backing up IT this week. The drama. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's how I felt. I was going to quit. And then I was like, no, I'm not, because I originally came on here for my kids, to do videos for them so they would have them of me. But I might just save it in, my phone that continues, because nobody needs that stuff. All right, so here's this one. You see how it's kind of dull? It's also got scratches, which you can't see because of the settings on this camera. Let me see if I can put it down somewhere out of the way so I can grab the other one. Now, look at the finish on this one. It's shiny, not dull. Does still have a scratch. I don't know if I can get it to, no, it won't show. And I only have one hand. That's my stronger wrist. Let me see if I can get it at an angle. No, it's not going to. I think it's because this has a filter on it from StreamYard. I know, I left them too. I wanted the rest. I'm so bummed that, I wouldn't care if it was a little bit of lead, just like, Maureen said, go ahead and just display it. But it's so much that, and this finish wears off. I'm concerned that, it will get in the environment. But then again, like, if I can put it behind glass, maybe I'll be okay. But then why do I need more stuff like that where it's behind glass and I can't use it? I need utilitarian stuff. Right? I can't, especially us. Like, Sheena has lupus. She said it before on her channel. If you have an autoimmune, your system is going to react to that if your body absorbs that lead. Your system is just going to react to that if you have an autoimmune. Yeah, I love the turquoise bowls because it just goes with, I have a lot of the, I don't know if you can see it, that kind of light aqua color. And I like the turquoise from the MCM period because my mom would have things like that when she was first married. Yeah, see, we were just talking, we won't even mess with the uranium glass. Even though it's so cool looking, How to Garden, I think it's so cool when they put it under the blue light. Sheena and I were just talking about, we both remember those poor women who used to put the little lines on the watches. Like, I don't know if it was the 40s or 50s. And they showed films of them putting it on their nails and putting it on their face. And the uranium is glowing and they're thinking, oh, this is so cool. This is so neat. And then they die of uranium poisoning. Yeah. Which turquoise pattern did you have, Guardian William Q? Yeah, the glass plates too. Like I would display them out of garden, but I would never eat off those. It's just so weird. Like that, I don't know as much about as far as leaching, but to say that lead doesn't leach into us is going against like chemistry and what chemistry says. And chemistry says our body absorbs it like carbon. The same thing for, I believe, I think it's arsenic. It's right underneath hydrogen. Well, hydrogen and oxygen go together, and our body's used to absorbing them. Yeah, wasn't that horrible? How to Garden? Oh, that was just awful. I remember watching that about those women and uranium, and yeah, I don't know why. I think it was just the innocence of the times, you know? I hope it wasn't really a testing like they did on our men when they bombed our men. Oh, that's right. Amen, Storms. I agree. Don't let it win. Just breathe and take a break. Yep, that's all you need to do. That's the same thing too. Like Glenn was on TikTok and he's got great stuff on there, but I'm about ready to exit TikTok and some of the extra stuff. Hey, Brampton, good to see you. Hope you had a great Christmas, everybody. I forgot to say that when you guys came in. I know it's radioactive. Yeah, exactly. Those poor women died of radioactive poisoning from uranium. Like, but they looked like they were having a great time doing it. Poor things. Horrible. Yeah, I'm just, let's see. I have, yeah, I have a lot of Princess House too. I don't know about them yet. Q, that's the next thing I'd like to find out about. You're not going to be able to see it in this. It's all up, over here. I have in this corner here a bunch of Princess House. My mom used to collect that too. And I have a blue pitcher that is not, it is depression glass, but it's not Hazel Atlas. It's a different glass maker. So yeah, I need to find out about those. Yeah, exactly. Honey, you're really glowing tonight. You're glowing. Oh, thanks, dear. No, I mean you're glowing like a little green light bulb. Horrible. So funny though, Brampton. That's so bad, but it's funny. There was a toy chemistry set. Taught kids how I took. No way with real uranium. I missed that one on history. That's terrifying. Aw, thank you. At first, I was like, is that towards me? Why, thank you. And then I realized it was the joke about the girls glowing in the dark. That's really scary. Yeah, I guess so. Yep. To have it around your girls. Yeah, we don't need it. It was the. Oh my gosh. Yep, uranium. It was the bomb back then. If you had some to play around with. So bad. Well, I do have like here, let me share a positive thing since I had all that negative. There is this stuff if you have fibro or an autoimmune. Now, of course, if you're on, I don't know how it works as far as if you're on keto and everything, how many carbs this has. Let me see. Yeah, this doesn't say the carb, but oh, it does. Yeah, it's all carbohydrate. It's just pure carbohydrate because it's an alcohol sugar. But D-ribose is a precursor to ATP in our system. ATP is a building block of, I believe, the mitochondria and our muscle function. Don't quote me. It's like, when you research so much that it's like stuff just falls out the back. But I am now drinking black coffee with just the D-ribose dose in there, and my pain, it has helped my pain. It has diminished it somewhat. I know, who knew? Brampton, you come up with some that are pretty good. That was pretty good. Oh, that's horrible. I'm so sorry, Q. I'm so sorry to hear that. Anyway, I'm going to drop the link if anybody has time. Does anybody have time to come up for just a little bit? I don't have to go and make dinner, but hubby will come home probably soon. But the D-ribose is something to look into and research. If you have pain, it's a great substitute, but you do not want to have a lot of it. You take it as like a supplement dose. And you can put it in a liquid and drink it. Oh, did you? Okay, I'll look it up. Let me see. The problem is my links on my laptop. Oh my gosh. I think I remember seeing this kit. That's too funny. World's most dangerous toy. There it is. World's most dangerous toy. Kit with real uranium for your children. Oh my gosh. Look at it. Oh, stupid pop up right at that moment. Okay, so this is what it looks like in case you guys see it out and about at someone's garage sale. Don't touch it. Oh my gosh. It was quite an expensive set back then for 1950, early 1950s. The set was $49.50, but it came with 4 samples of uranium-bearing, you say ores? Autunite, torbernite, uranite, I can't even say these, as well as a radiation counter. Oh my gosh, this is how much you're being radiated right now, Junior, while you're playing with this set. I would have bought it too, probably for my son back in the day. Absolutely, How to Garden. Good to see you. Well, let me drop that link, see if anybody wants to come up and chit chat about their Christmas. Ours was pretty low key. I was grateful that my brother did send us a Christmas card, so he is still in contact with me, and that our family drama is not cutting me off from him. And I hope it and pray it doesn't ever cut me off from him, because I do love my brother, even though we're on opposite ends of the United States, and probably our beliefs are opposite ends too. But I absolutely love my brother. Sand and paint at work today. What is it? You've got to come up and tell me exactly what you guys do. I would love to hear that, Brampton. I would love to just sit down and interview you and hear about that. Because I actually learned how to use my dad's belt sander, but I used it on tile to make bullnose. I had to make a double bullnose all the way around our doorway into our shower, and that was the least expensive way to do it. Oh, you don't? Okay, that's fine. If you don't have your cam on, I don't care. I'm not going to be on that long. So it's like you can go and take your shower really soon. So but not to make you uncomfortable. I know, right? Oh, the family drama. It always pops up at Christmas. If you've ever seen this lady's channel, I'm trying to think. She's called Something Fairy. But she's all about if you had PTSD in childhood, childhood PTSD, and how it manifests in you as an adult, and about secluding yourself is one of the things that she put up for the holidays, how you will, because you've been through so much trauma, you end up just completely secluding yourself from things. And she was trying to encourage practice among getting out again and practice with people, especially around the holidays. And, you don't have to go to all the functions, and it's just, don't seclude yourself. Don't cut yourself completely off, because then you are causing more suffering upon yourself than needs to be there. And I just thought, a lot of people needed to hear that message, because Yeah, because you still remunerate about those things. They're still in your mind. They're still hurting you over and over again if you are secluding yourself, because you're not thinking about it. You're thinking about it as because that's why you're secluding yourself. So, oh goodness, what crappy childhood fairy, the crappy childhood fairy. Great stuff. She has some great stuff. And people look at my childhood and they're like, oh, well, we all have stuff. We all have stuff. I am lucky that I came out of my childhood not taking up with the addictions that my siblings ended up with. And I'm just grateful for that. I'm very, very grateful. Oh, there she is. Hey, lady. Oh, this
Hello.
is a cute picture. I love it. I'm going to turn up my volume so I can hear you better.
Okay.
All right, there we go.
I have headphones on if that helps. So
yeah, I should put mine on, but I wanted to try it without.
No worries.
Let me turn up your mic as much as it'll go. Oh, there's storms. Here, I'm going to turn you up. All right, there we go.
I'll try to turn me on. That's all right.
No, not about that. I'm not about that. I did just recommend these two cute kids that play the violin, and they've got a huge channel, which I had never seen. Two Set. Have you heard of them through your kid?
Who?
Two Set, they're called. They're two Asian boys. I want to say boys, but they're like in their 20s. They've already graduated college. Violinists, like classical violinists, and they've made classical music fun again.
Is that possible?
I know they did it, and now their age group wants to go and see them and wants to know more about like classical music because they make it fun. They incorporate like skits with the classical music. But yeah, it was really, they're really cute. But yeah, they're possibly a couple. Since you said about don't turn you
No,
on.
I've never. Yeah, sorry.
But they've known each other since they were in like middle school, high school, like, and they were saying like they met as like a total Asian stereotype, like in math tutoring.
He's probably heard of them, and I would guess more her friends. Her friends are into K-pop. She's not so much.
If her friends are into K-pop, then she probably has heard of them because the girl band of K-pop came down on them because they kind of did a skit and made fun of.
Oh, who are those girls? Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, Dean. Good to see you, Maureen. Something gold, is it? Is it something gold?
I don't remember.
I don't either. But they made fun of that they only use they made fun of this group because they only used 2 bars of a certain composer in their song, and they were like, they dressed up as the composer who was Italian. Like, how can you just use 2 bars of my beautiful, composition? And their fans are like nuts. Their fans trolled them so hard on every like platform.
Oh, so people just need to grow up.
Well, like, word to the creators, don't mess with K-pop or any of those Asian bands because they will die for them. Some of the people that follow them, like, they are just so crazy.
Blackpink?
That's it. Blackpink.
I had to Google that. I did not.
I was thinking like gold, pink gold.
I've seen gold. Yeah, I've been forced to watch a few of their videos on YouTube when my daughter's friends were all over. And I was like, what is it? But then fortunately, her one friend, they love this singer called Leve.
Mm-hmm.
And she's from Europe.
Okay.
She's like jazzy.
Oh.
She sings like jazz music, but she's young. And she goes, I really want to play this song. And after all the K-pop, all of a sudden this lady starts singing jazz. I'm like, what? She's got a really good, she's got a great voice.
Yeah, well, we were talking about that, how interesting it is in modern music that guys like Josh Groban can do a lot of classical, and they open this gate for the male classical singers, but it seems so much more narrow for the female. And my daughter was like, I wonder why that is. It's like, we got to address the females mostly like sluts, and that's kind of how we have to market them. Why can't they be mostly classical? And I'm not talking about like Adele and stuff like that. Like, We have Adele, and she's just, oh my gosh. But
I don't like classical.
yeah.
I can't stand it. I find it so incredibly monotonous, and it just.
That's it. I'm out of here.
I'm so sorry, Storms.
Maybe it's the classical you've been
I just
exposed
missed
to,
with
because
it.
there's
It
more than
just-
big.
unless I'm waltzing somewhere. Other than that, like just traditional classical music, I find it so incredibly it just gets under my skin. It's so repetitive.
I need it for driving down to Miami.
It's so repetitive. I think that's what bothers me. I
It
don't
might
know.
be
I've
the-
never liked it. I've never been able to enjoy it or relax. It gets me, even just talking about it gets me worked up. It's not relaxing. It
You
just
think
annoys
you
me.
think it's like the string instruments? Like, do you feel them?
All of it. I don't know. I hate
It's
it.
all of it. It doesn't matter which instrument.
And I hate poetry, so there's that too.
Oh, wow, girl.
But I love music. But
You're-
I love jazz, and I love classic rock, and I love heavy
Well,
metal.
if you
and-
here's another. Oh shoot, it's going into. Let me see. If you don't know this other channel, million one.
Instigator.
Well, see, every once in a while, I can appreciate the beauty of a voice of opera. I can appreciate that, and a beautiful, like, it's moving sometimes, but
Yeah,
actually
this
just to listen to it. No.
this guy will turn you on to all kinds of music. His name is Chris Cornell. He's got like 1.5, whatever that is, 550,000, 1,550,000 subs. And he's music theory, but he makes it so fun. He did a whole video on just a half step of a note and how it in music makes us feel. And he pulled all these different samples and said how it's like a human cry. So like I'm liking the ones that actually YouTube suggested to me lately. And it's because I listened to Maureen the night when I was wrapping presents. I'm pretty sure they're like,
No, see, I love jazz. I love the old listening to
oh, hey, Ace.
big band. We used to go swing dancing when I was in high school.
Ooh,
I
love it.
love big band. I love swing. I love all of that.
Yeah.
I grew up on the 50s and 60s music because that's all my parents would listen to.
Yeah.
Mm.
I love classic rock, 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
I grew up on alternative because I was on the West Coast.
Of course.
not a Big
So the
fan
only
of-
thing I don't really like is country and classical.
yeah, I'm a big fan of all classical, but like that was the beginning of the flower duet, and it's just an absolutely
That's
stunning
gorgeous. Yeah.
piece, right?
When you listen to Les Mis and stuff, there's a few songs that they're beautiful, but it's not something like I want to work out to or clean the house to or.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
they do actually say that playing classical music to your plants will actually help them to grow. Like they actually say like one of the reasons why the rooster is crowing first thing in the morning is to actually whatever sound that they're making is actually waking up the plants and actually brings more life to the plants. So you might have
cool.
to play.
That's never going to happen here. I actually watched a video. I watched a video and a guy did a
That's never happening.
he did and
funny.
he had the same plants and he did one with nothing and then he did one with classical and then he did another one with heavy metal.
I heard about the heavy metal. The heavy
And
metal.
the heavy metal one won.
like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
The plants loved it.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a
No.
hardcore metalhead.
They
and I
like
still
metal.
listen to classical.
Heck yeah. What happened to Storm?
Like the stronger maybe vibration that it sends
Watch my
out.
camera. I don't know, but I would much rather listen to some Puddle of Mud while I'm out gardening than classical. Like you do.
You're wild. You are so wild. But what I brought you up here because what is it exactly that you guys do with your family business? You're talking about sanding and painting. Is it
Our primary, like it's kind of morphed over the last while as we've gotten older. We do like basically drywall, the plastering part. So the taping.
That's
So we use
hard.
He's
the
a
taping
drywaller.
and we don't hang.
Okay, no, you go in and do the mud and sanding, which is I think
yeah, but we don't
harder.
do a lot of like straight up mudding, like not on a big scale anymore. Like we used to
Okay.
do basements and bigger renos and stuff, but it's just the two of
Yeah.
us and we're getting older and
Mhm. I hear that.
it takes a toll on your body. Like
It does.
it's hard. And for straight up taping, there's a lot of competition in the area. So we've kind of formed our own little niche where we do just smaller repairs, and especially like stucco ceiling repairs.
Oh,
So
wow.
here in Canada, they have it's a stucco or a popcorn ceiling, but it's different than like the pop US.
It's different than this ugly
It's-
stuff that I can't. Oh, you can't see it on the camera probably too well. But
The stuff
I would
here
just-
is finer than a lot of the popcorn you get in the States, but it could be if it's a newer house. Growing up, because I grew up in the States, any of the popcorn ceilings we had there were much chunkier.
yeah. The
And then
older
here,
houses.
yeah, so it was a lot more like knockdown.
Yeah,
Like
my
you could
parents
grow
had
up
the
with ceilings or
chunkier.
knockdown ceilings.
Yeah.
In the States, that's what my dad was a builder growing up.
Okay. Oh,
So
okay.
I've
And that's
been
like
around it.
plaster more. Like the older ones, it seemed like they used something harder
Stuff
to,
that is
other than
plaster.
asbestos.
But then I'm saying like more in like the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
They would spray like the mud on the ceiling, and then they would come by
Yeah.
with like a big pommel. You know those things like you put ice in for your headaches back in the day.
Uh-huh.
It looks like that. So they got a hawk in one hand, they got this big pommel thing in one hand, and they just would use like a big white trowel and just kind of what's called knockdown.
Yeah.
And they would just kind of make a textured ceiling, but it wasn't necessarily like sprayed on with a stucco machine. So here in Canada, you have a product called the ceiling texture, and it looks like cottage cheese. You mix it with water. Looks like cottage cheese. It goes into a hopper and it gets sprayed on with a compressor.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I have, cottage cheese on my ceiling.
Okay. So then
you wet it down usually and you can scrape it.
if it hasn't been painted,
Only if it hasn't been painted.
yeah,
right?
if it's once it's been painted, it depends how much paint's been on it and what kind of paint was used. I mean, it still can. At that point, if you want it smooth, if it's on there really good, you're better off just skimming over it.
Hey, Bushcraft, good to see you.
So we do that sometimes if people want to do a conversion, which is a pain in the butt. It's so messy.
Oh, it's totally messy. I did a
It's so
bathroom
messy.
in my like other 90s townhouse. Just the
Yeah.
bathroom. It was everywhere.
Because people are
Everywhere.
under the assumption that you just scrape, and that's not the case. So
No.
when
Yeah.
you're finishing a regular ceiling flat, like say in a kitchen or a bathroom where there's not the stucco or texture, all your seams are getting 3 coats of mud. The screws are all getting 2 coats of mud, and then it gets sanded, and then it gets primed, and then it gets 2 coats of paint.
Mm.
In a ceiling where you're spraying it with the stucco, all the big seams get 2 coats, but the smaller seams, the basic seams, will only probably get 1 coat. Screws
Yeah.
get 1 coat, and you don't sand it, and you just throw on a coat of primer.
Well,
and
I
then
have
you scrape it on.
Quick
So when
question.
you scrape it off, you
Yeah, go
at
ahead.
least 2 coats and skim basically the whole ceiling, and then you have to sand it and then prime it and then 2 coats of paint.
Oh, heck.
So you can't just scrape it and paint it. So that's why people are like, wait a minute, why does it cost so much? Because like if I'm doing, let's say I'm doing a living room that's saying like 12 by 15 size,
Yeah.
it's going to take us about 3 hours. Just
And they don't
because you
have like
to
a roll on
layers of
product
plastic
yet?
on the floor. And
They don't have a roll on product yet for homeowners. It's a little bit thicker that kind of gives them that ability to not have to skim coat. Do you know?
I mean, it depends on state and how picky you are.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess if you wanted to just put on a really textured roller, the problem is a lot of people think, and even when you like, we go in and do a lot of repairs.
Mhm.
Let's say someone gets a water leak in the middle of their living room,
Mhm.
and a lot of other companies will come in and say, "Oh, you have to redo it, scraped or repainted, whatever." We can come in and patch it.
Okay.
So there's, and I didn't realize beforehand, but there's like two main types, and then a third rare type of stucco that's used. One is bits of styrofoam in it, and the other has something else, so you can tell what it is.
Yeah.
And it's all about the prep. Right, you have to make sure it's perfectly smooth. The patch has to be just as good as if it's on a wall. A lot of people think that you can just kind of do a half-ass job and you're gonna spray stucco.
Oh no, it'll show up. It'll
Right.
show up on a flat surface. That's the
Exactly.
one thing I have learned.
Stucco is transparent.
Yeah.
There's no. So if you have a bump and you spray stucco on it, you're gonna have a bump with stucco on it.
Right.
Right? You can get away without sanding it, like
Yeah.
minor stuff like that. But if you've done a crappy job taping this patch, you
Mhm.
can't expect us just to come in. And it happens so many times. We'll get a
Hey,
call
William.
and
Yeah.
they'll just be like, "Oh, just and spray it." We have never just walked in and sprayed something. Half the time he has to scrape out the crap they put up there
Oh
Right.
my
because
gosh.
they don't know what they're doing. It's not level. They've gone over
Yeah.
the stucco. They didn't put tape.
Yeah.
It's like this thing's gonna crack. Like we just. But that's kind of where we specialize in it because
Okay.
no one else wants to do these smaller jobs or like in the middle of a living room. We've done
Yeah.
a lot of jobs for insurance companies that don't want to have to do the whole thing.
Mhm.
And so we can charge a better price because it is
Right.
definitely more specialized and we can get in and out in a day.
So you found a great niche, really, and also probably you guys being a couple.
Well,
The
and that's too, yeah.
older set, huh?
That's the thing too, right? Like he's up on the ladder and I'm handing
Yeah.
him stuff and I've got a tray mixed and ready to like I know what he needs,
Mhm.
as we're doing it because we've been doing it. We'll be 20 years.
It's intuitive. Yeah, it's more intuitive. You work together. But I mean, with the older set, like you probably, like the senior citizens probably feel comfortable more.
I think it makes a big difference, especially when we come into a job and it's a woman home by herself
Yes.
and she sees me there with him. Then yeah, it definitely puts people at ease.
Yeah. I think that's a great niche.
But then I
wish
get in trouble for talking too much to the homeowners.
that would be me. That would so be
Yeah,
me.
and you and in Brampton, you're supposed to be, trying to create a nice viral video or something, right? Or maybe trying to get more.
Oh, God, don't even get me started. I was ready to shove him out the door the other day. So me and my husband's like, he goes, you know what? You really need to bring in some new viewers.
Your husband said that to you? My
I
husband
need
doesn't
to
even
grow
care.
my channel. And
Wow.
last year he told me, he goes, you know what? You need a video to go viral.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I
'cause
need.
that's just so easy. We're
I was
totally
like, thank you, Captain Obvious. Thank you. Yeah,
I'll just run out to Walmart and pick those up right away.
exactly.
viral
Give me
video.
a blank
I need
check
to
here.
do. That's what it is. Oh my God. If only I'd known this sooner. I was telling Marie last night, I was like, you want me to ask him for any tips for you?
That's right.
Right?
God bless
Oh my
him.
gosh.
Well, you look at these other
bless
channels.
His heart. Bless his heart.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. Bless his
Because
heart.
anytime we watch anything on YouTube, because we watch it on the and his first question, it doesn't matter what the video is about, something I'm watching, something the kids
Mhm.
watching, how many views does it have? How many he is obsessed with knowing how many views this
Did you
video
explain to
has.
them that it's not necessarily the view, it's the how long and duration of the view is what counts?
Well, this is what makes
and
me
also
angry.
YouTube screws with your views.
Well, we
I
were
don't
watching
know.
something the other day and it was like 17 million views and the video was out for 3 days.
See, that seems so thick.
Right. And so it's like, no matter, I could put together the most amazing video
Yeah.
and it just with I have like 1,600 subscribers. Like I'm never going to put out,
we
if
just
you
don't
have,
know. We don't know though. It
if
might
you have
all
a
of a
million
sudden-
subscribers, you can put out a crappy video and
True.
you're still going to get,
Yeah.
400,000 or 500,000 people watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're at least going to click on it because they
True.
follow you. And then
Yeah.
even if they don't like it, whatever. So
Yeah. You're still gonna get
You're still gonna, be monetized with it. So
Well,
I have the
don't
problem
make your dashboard and everything where it shows, how many minutes into a video.
Yeah.
Where
oh
they
yeah, that's
just,
always depressing.
it
Just
is.
don't let them see that because it'll go through the roof.
Yeah. Don't let him get into your analytics. Keep him
You
out of
gotta
Yeah,
make them watch
analytics,
longer.
like I'm gonna climb to the chairs now. I don't know how you ready? Let's go.
Yeah. Get some Velcro out for them all.
Right? Like what how do you make people watch longer other than it's like all I see is they'll clickbait people, but I don't want to then you have people that get mad at you if you clickbait them.
Shorts.
So-
See, my shorts never do well. The only shorts I've ever had that have gotten like over 1,000, it's just some little short clip of Dexter. And
Well, he is adorable.
that doesn't translate to subscribers or anything on my channel.
Mm-mm. No, Dexter probably could do well though on his own channel. A lot of those, that's what the internet is for, is people will just watch animal
Well,
stuff.
and that makes me sad because I follow a lot of pug
I'm
people on Instagram and they get bazillions of views.
There you go.
Same
Says the man who
video
knows
over and over.
numbers. Look at what Bushcraft just put up. Worst thing a YouTuber can do is look at the number. Yeah, just do your thing. Just do your
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, I haven't blurry videos do better. Oh, great.
What? Blurry videos do I don't know. I've clicked off plenty of blurry videos because I don't
Bad sound is my
yeah,
nemesis.
bad audio.
I can
yeah.
put up with, but if the audio is bad, It's
Mhm.
just not going to happen.
Yeah. But there's, oh, hey, Kentucky Goblin. Good to see you. My problem is, and Barry's talked about it too. There's something between StreamYard and YouTube. I don't know if it's a dysfunctional relationship, but after I get done doing these lives, and I've had like say 10, 15 people, or I've even just now, like say I have 8 people in here consistently, it will tell me I have 2 views.
Oh yeah. It does something weird. And then it like after a while it comes back to
Yeah, it'll go back up. And I've contacted them. I'm like, what the heck is your problem with your view counter? Because there's something going on between you and StreamYard that you guys got to get it together. Because
whenever
it's
I do StreamYard, I always pop out my chat in the other in YouTube as well. So I have both chats available because the YouTube chat, it comes in faster,
Mhm.
Yes.
the comments,
Yeah.
and but you have to have so you can pop them up on the screen. But I always have both of them open, and then sometimes I'll check like just over on
Mhm.
because I'll be watching and it'll say you have 0 viewers,
Yeah.
but people are
Well,
commenting, and I'm like,
yeah.
well, how are they commenting if they're not watching?
Exactly.
Bushcraft
I do.
family.
I like both. Like I'll usually hop back and forth. In fact, you just reminded me, and now I can't. Yeah, let me
Sorry.
find it. No, that's okay. I'm glad you reminded me about the YouTube side of things. But I'm gonna have to kill the sound.
Bushcraft said that they hate the sound of wind on the microphone. You mean like that?
Oh.
I was gonna do the same thing.
I struggle with that
Live views.
on my Rode mics that I use with my video camera, but every once in a while it doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh my
do the
God!
trick.
Nature happened while you were filming.
Witchcraft, explain that to me because I don't understand that. So they're only counting my views like after it goes into YouTube as a video, and then you get those views counted, like after the fact. Is that the views they're counting?
And
So they're not.
views get counted every 15 minutes that someone's watching a live.
Yeah.
Every 15 minutes it counts as another view.
Yeah.
So if I watch it for 31 minutes, that's going to count as 3 views.
Oh, interesting. But see, they're not
for
doing
one
it.
person.
Say that again.
Every 15 minutes of watching a live,
Okay.
that one viewer gets counted again as another view.
I'll be darn. I never heard
So
that.
if you come in
before.
the first 30 seconds, that's a view. And then if you're still there after another view, and then if you're there after 30 minutes, that's a third view on lives.
Oh, I've never heard that. Bushcraft, is that what you mean?
So that's
those are
why if
counted?
you can get 20 people in your live and they
And
all
they
stay
keep-
for 2 hours.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've
right?
noticed
Like,
that with
your
my views.
are going to be like, wait a minute, there was only 5 people in my chat all night, but
Mhm.
what? That's how that counts the views on.
Yeah,
lives.
that's what I've noticed on my analytics is when I go live, my views go up. I create content and my views just barely a bump, barely anything
Yeah.
changes at all. And to get those like 4,000 whatevers, I just can't. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the way I feel like sometimes they're sitting on me because I am a conservative YouTuber. You know, with some of my opinions, and it's very frustrating. But it's probably I don't know enough like Bushcraft, and like I didn't know that whole 15-minute thing. Never heard that. I didn't know that they
because
like,
I was trying to figure out how some channels, like when I was, because I wasn't really doing a lot of lives at the beginning, and so we were like, we had similar
Mhm.
what am I saying? We had similar like subscribers,
Yeah.
right? And I would look at the views of like they were kind of comparable.
You see
But
them?
then they would post like their, views
you're the
for the
one.
week or their views for the month, and they had like 3 or 4 times as many as I did. I'm like, how is that? What is happening? They were doing weekly lives. And so I wasn't, right? And so that makes a huge difference in your total overall views of the channel.
Oh, it will only give you a max of 2 views per person for watch time. Okay. It's so confusing. I'm not a mather. I'm sorry. I can do basic math and I can put together a budget, but this whole math thing with YouTube thing is
Well, and the thing is YouTube keeps right.
Change
So
stuff, right? Yeah. Thank you.
They change stuff
you.
a lot.
A lot. Too much, I think. Too much. It gets really confusing for the newbies. Like if it's confusing for me and I've been here like for a couple years, it's got to be confusing for the people coming in too. Unless you're totally into analytics and all that stuff. and just have that.
I find the more I look at the analytics, the more frustrated I get.
I agree.
It's like,
That's why I like what
ah.
Bushcraft said. Worst thing you can do is look at your numbers. Just enjoy the ride. But I had to bring that content out about what I had found out because it's going into New Year's and I don't know how many other people are still using that Pyrex. And I don't want, like, I don't know about you, but when I find out something like that, that could actually poison a family.
Oh, the old stuff? Yeah.
Yeah. And especially if you have autistic children, lead poisoning acts very similar to autistic behaviors.
Oh, yikes.
Can
So,
you put the link up again? Bushcraft wants to come up.
oh, okay. Yay. All right. Don't have too much time though, because hubby will be home soon.
Yeah,
I'm
he
gonna
says
check my dryer again.
Copy. Yeah, I know. It's easier to talk than to type. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, ow. I've done too much
All right. There it is for you, Bushcraft. Yeah, it's beyond me when some of the stuff in analytics. And then I forget where to find it too. Some of the stuff I want. There you go.
Hello.
Hello, sir. So yeah, explain that.
Okay, this is just for lives.
Okay.
You have a difference between unique viewers
Okay.
and new viewers. The
Right.
new viewers won't count until after the live is over. So that's where you're getting the extra views.
Okay.
The unique ones and the active ones will show up. Like
That's so weird.
you're live. Well,
But what if I have like consistent people that come in and they mostly were consistent that night when I noticed, hey, you got 3 views. And I'm like, okay, that's the second time YouTube's done that. And these are
Yeah.
people.
the ones where they just come in and say, and some don't say anything or anything. That's why it's always good if people come in and they just say, hey, and then leave. If anything,
That
Instead of
yeah,
just
I
coming
know
in
those
and
people that
looking
do that.
what's going on and leaving
Yeah.
because that view doesn't count at that moment. It'll count later,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
but it won't count during the live.
Does it mess up your views when people are doing that to you?
Well, I have an issue of if I get too many views, I
Mhm.
get hit.
Oh, they like flag you again. Yeah, I know you've had trouble
Yeah.
with them watching your content a little too closely. They took down my video just because I showed a clip of FNL, but we were commenting about it. Like, you know how when you can do certain music sometimes, as long as you are discussing it, they used to allow you to play it and then discuss the music.
How
And
about these reaction channels get away with it? I don't
I
understand.
don't know, but they
There-
canceled a lot of them.
This is what I've been told because I did the whole reaction thing on my another channel, and the channel blew up.
Yep.
Although after I got monetized, I got hit like crazy
Yeah. Well, they
because you have to, instead of listening to like if it's music, listening to the music, because I hate when somebody interrupts a song just to tell me, oh, this means that or whatever.
yeah,
But that's the way you have to do it
you have to. Yeah.
to where you don't get in trouble because
Okay.
you have to stop and explain what
Something.
the video is about. And that's the same thing with other videos, like whatever you would react to, somebody falling on their butt or something like that.
That would be me.
Right.
We could do a reaction video.
I should have. I'm going to have to train these cats to follow me around with a camera because I literally fell on my butt today.
Oh my gosh.
It was my
Oh.
fault.
They didn't trip you?
I was doing laundry, and apparently when I stood up, I was standing on one of the sleeves for a long sleeve shirt,
Oh.
and somehow, like I'm yanking on this thing, and about knocked myself over.
Gosh.
And then I turned around and wham, right into the wall.
Oh no. Oh my
I hit the
gosh.
ground, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I saw there was a gif of this girl hitting the corner of a wall, and I'm like, that is my ADHD. I will hit corners on a regular basis, paying attention to other stuff, but I also do, it's called the ADHD sway. I didn't know this was all related to ADHD. You sway, you get so close, and then your body, it's like your mind clicks in, or something in your body feels it, and you do the sway around it.
Watch out for that thing.
You don't
In
hit
my
it.
case, I just overdone it today. I mean, I just like today I had just like this enormous amount of energy. I don't know
Yeah.
where the heck it came from.
Maybe
And
you're
I'm like,
rebounding
I
from
am
Christmas.
taking advantage of this because it doesn't happen very often.
I
It's
know.
something I fight with all the time with the MD. And it's like,
Yeah.
go, 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 go. And then next thing you know, I'm hitting a wall.
Oh,
Like,
no.
It's
come
all the
on.
sugar from Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's all the sugar going up and down, and then finally you level off afterwards.
So any
Go
other
ahead.
tips that you can give us, Bushcraft? Because, there's like, I'm still, trying to get up, my numbers and my watch time hours. Like I'm just halfway to the first level, halfway to 3,000, and it's just,
She's
it's like,
dogging it.
Lives,
She is
lives,
just
lives,
really
lives,
looking.
lives.
yeah.
Yeah, lives is the best way for, and unless you get a
Okay,
blow
Mom.
up video, then it'll
Just letting you guys know, I
do it
got
all in one shot.
5 minutes.
Oh,
There we go.
Hey,
I
how's
had
everybody?
Hey.
Hey,
hey,
Moon.
Moon.
Hey, Moon.
short that went over 6 million,
Holy moly.
What? Wow.
but with that, they demonetized me
Ah.
because it said, "Hey, there's somebody over here getting 6 million views."
Yeah, that we're not.
And they-
Oops, we're very
Well,
dry.
yeah,
They
that'll
let-
anything.
They get a
anything that
thing
goes
on my
viral,
channel
they'll-
where they go through all my videos
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, you have a video in your list that we don't like, so you're demonetized until you remove it." And I said,
Oh my
"Which
god.
video is it?" "Oh, we can't tell you that."
That's what makes me
Oh,
think.
come
Yeah, I
Okay,
on.
know that's
but
so stupid that they.
it
do
makes me feel like it's fixed. I'm sorry, but you see these other,
There's so
Oh,
much
yeah.
crap on YouTube that
yeah,
Yeah.
they get away with all kinds of stuff, but our videos coming in, it's like, what do we have to have some kind of corporation behind us and
The thing
actually
with
be?
music. I was gonna say the thing with
What-
Sorry
music.
about that.
There's no such thing as you can use any little amount. Okay.
Look at it.
You-
It shows the other
People
camera.
get confused that they can use
Mm-hmm.
a certain amount. If you Google on copyright on music,
Uh-huh.
it will explain it to you. Even stuff that's from the 1800s, if somebody owns the rights to it, you can
Hey,
get
Andrew, good to see you.
for it. So you can't use any little. People get away
Nothing.
with it because maybe they paid for it, but then
Wow.
they're going to share the revenue. So
Hey,
the
Andrew.
only thing is you have to own the rights to that music that you're using.
I
He
own
owns
the rights-
it. Yeah.
I own the rights to my own music, and they still, like, on Facebook,
Yes,
they
you
go,
will also
Mhm.
because you know why?
they go, you can't use it.
No,
And you go,
can't.
it's my own recorded music that I paid for. I
Yeah.
paid the rights for it, and they go, no,
Yeah.
we can't monetize you. And you're like, it's my music.
Yeah.
see if
Yeah.
I did any of my own
Because
music,
somebody
no one would
reported
question
see.
that.
Yeah, somebody reported it. And then those people that do music all the time, the way they get away with it is at the end of their live stream, they go back and they mute all the music. So they still get all the credit from all the watch time and all the views. See
Hmm.
that's what they do. They'll go back and they'll delete the music that gets copyrighted. So
Hmm.
that
You-
way still
you get hit.
does-
You get
Hmm.
hit for. They'll take your live down.
Yes,
oh
they
yeah,
will.
yeah.
That's
The
what
thing.
happened.
For certain
To
music,
me.
like if you play any Michael Jackson, if you play any big person,
Metallica.
Yeah.
yes, yeah, they will like that shut you
Well,
down.
even kids songs like Baby Shark. My son came up
Oh
to
yeah,
me during
yeah,
a
yeah.
live, and that all of a sudden was near the mic. It wasn't even that close. It was just slightly near. Bam!
Yes.
There goes
Doesn't
my
matter.
life. It just took me right off.
Yeah.
Your ringtone on your phone. You know how people have they're doing it live
Yeah.
and their phone rings and that ringtone. That's a
Oh my
copyright.
god.
Mine,
So-
mine plays Iron Maiden,
Complicated.
Yeah.
Fear of the
So-
Dark. That's my ringtone. And they pegged me on it because my phone rang in the middle of a live.
Yes, yes. See, that's what I'm telling you. And people think, oh, well, you can play a little. No, no, no. There's no such thing as you can play a little bit and get away with it. You're still going to either get one or two things. They're going to shut you down if it's somebody that doesn't want you to share the revenue. Now, if
Okay.
they're willing to share the revenue, what'll happen if you're monetized, you'll basically gets cut in half. Whatever you make out of your video,
Mhm.
music people get half of that, and then after that half, the 50%, then YouTube gets their 30%, and then you get the last of it.
Oh
That's
wow,
right.
Andrew! Look, poor Andrew. I've been in Alaska. He had to use a hairdryer to fall the doorknob. It was so frozen. His
Oh,
daughter's doorknob.
miss
Oh,
that.
bless you, bless you. Oh,
Dude, Andrew, I mean, I don't know. I live in Kentucky, but sometimes we get some nasty weather here. I feel your pain, bro. I had to do
You
that
have
to
to
my
do
back door
the
a
has to
few
do the
years
Home
ago.
Alone on the doorknob.
Yeah. Yeah.
right.
Maureen,
Yeah.
the reason
the
why
hot water.
your music gets hit
Why?
is because there's bots that will claim a note that's
Yes.
within in there, and you have to dispute it. And
Yeah,
they're
there-
hoping
you just
that
have
you
to
don't
dispute it.
so they get
Yeah.
credit for it.
Yeah. So
there
then
are-
if the person is willing to share the revenue,
Yeah, but you can't share it with a bot. He just said it's
no,
a
no,
bot.
no. What he's saying is the bot captures the sound. You know how like when
Oh,
you go-
got it. Okay, I was like, it's a bot is like claiming
well, I mean,
it.
you know, like those
oh,
websites that you go, you hum a song and it tells you what it is.
got it.
Same thing. See, it's
Same
just the
kind of
same thing
thing.
with her. She says it's her music. But
Yeah.
see, this is what people don't understand. You heard it somewhere, that music, or you know, even because there's other people that make their own music and
Mhm.
they get copyrighted because they heard it somewhere and then they created their own sound, but then they kind of like, you know, it still sounds a little bit like the original,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
So all it
Yes,
takes
Gina,
is
yes,
one
yes.
little-
Okay, so
you
some
know.
some of them I've disputed and I've gotten, you know, it lifted. When it's
yeah,
on
it'll go
Facebook,
green.
with Facebook, I can't do any disputing of
Oh
any
yeah, they're
of any of my recorded music. But the other thing is, Bushcraft, is that because my music is kind of distributed through a company called CD Baby, it's actually CD
Okay,
Baby
yeah.
that comes up and says can't use it, you know, and it's like why? It's because CD Baby wants their share, and then
yes.
it trickles down and I get my 9 cents.
Yes, and then
Right.
the other thing is there's the other thing also that people don't understand that they if say that the person you purchased the music from, they lose the rights to it, then you lose the rights to it too. So that's why sometimes if you see there's a song that YouTube gives you and then all of a sudden it says no longer available because they lost the rights to it. So now if you use it, then it's
Right.
going to get copyrighted.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but it's even like you know, because most of my music that I've recorded is cover tunes, which I actually have to pay. They call it CMMRA, so it's Canadian Mechanical Music Rights. So I pay the money so that I can record it. So now it is mine.
yeah, but then they also
Intellectual-
have to keep up paying for the rights too. And if the person that owns the rights all of a sudden says, no, I'm not going to give you the rights anymore, guess what? You lost. So if you had that song in all these videos, guess what? All those videos, they either need to be removed or,
Yeah.
you know, that's the bad thing, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, this ridiculous. You go. I'm adding, you know, a song I recorded from my Christmas album.
Oh yeah, you can't even use Happy Birthday. You can't even sing
No.
Happy Birthday on YouTube. You'll get a
Mind
flag.
you, the last long form video I did, it was all the music I used from it. It was the ships were coming in and we were singing Christmas songs. I didn't get any strikes because it was us playing it live.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
But
that
then when
was,
it becomes a video, well, then I don't know. Then that's where
no,
it
yeah,
changes.
yeah. Actually, they
sometimes.
I was wondering because it was like I think there's probably about 5 different Christmas carols that I sang.
How
And
how
they
long
didn't- they
how
didn't
long
give me-
into the live were you before you started singing?
I wasn't alive. It was
Oh.
I recorded this as a video.
Oh, okay.
Long
Wait a
form
minute.
video.
How did the nightclub get away with streaming you live with all those songs?
They do pay a fee. Like they
Oh,
Yeah.
a recording fee.
Yeah.
See, and the thing is, until somebody puts a claim on the music, like I
Yes.
can go to her videos and go, I own the rights to that. And now it's up to her to prove that I don't.
Yeah.
So what'll
And
happen? There'll
then
be a
the fact
claim
that
on
she
there,
is registered.
and I don't even have to have a claim
that's
to it.
good. That
That's what
sounds-
happens a lot of times.
Yeah.
People
And
get claims.
anytime that you register or license music, that goes into a database that is worldwide.
Yeah.
Yes.
So YouTube will have access to that. I've actually worked with CD Baby, and there's one other that handles like indie bands.
Mhm.
hmm
I've dealt with them when I was running a couple radio stations out of my house, and it was to cover my butt. And then it turns out, oh, I didn't even have to do all that because
Oh.
according to the FCC, my low-powered radio station, as long as it was under the FCC guidelines,
Uh-huh.
didn't have to adhere to those copyright laws because technically it wasn't a radio station, even though their paperwork on their website says otherwise.
Yeah.
Depending on the amount.
Yeah,
of,
that music copyright stuff is you need a lawyer to basically
But
read
the
all
minute
that.
I started streaming it over the internet is the time that I had to sign up with Live 365.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the only time.
So then how much, like, what's a base amount that you can pay to stream? Like, how much would that cost an artist, like say Maureen, to stream her own stuff? To put her own stuff on,
where?
like on YouTube? Like, could
Oh,
she
on
do it?
YouTube?
Is there any
YouTube?
protection for her
Yeah.
on?
There
YouTube,
is a
you're
lot of
always gonna
artists
have
out
issues
here
with
on
that.
YouTube that have their
Yeah.
own music or tunes.
I know, and they do covers, and they're
And-
on their channel.
Well, but see, the thing is, it depends who they cover. If it's not somebody important, and if there's not somebody dinging them, they're still going to share the revenue
It's
because
still,
they're
it's
going
like
to
Adele, and
gonna be
people they do.
you're gonna lose 50 of whatever revenue if you make any money. So that's what they tell you. If you're not monetized, it
Okay.
tells you while you're not monetized, if you do later on get monetized and make any money on this video, half of it is going to go to the people of the music.
Okay, but they'll still let you do it. They'll still
Yes.
allow you to do it.
The thing is, there's different ways because see, YouTube, you have when you sign, the music and all that for YouTube, it has some music that is either you pay a monthly fee and
Mhm.
then they give you a library of all this music that's free and stuff,
Yeah.
or you just say, well, I'll just be the 50-50 and I don't have to worry about it. And basically is what it is. They'll say this video you can use it, but it's going to be shared revenue. Now, if you don't, they'll
Wow.
tell you can't. This one cannot be even shown. You need to take it down or remove the music.
Sounds fun and crazy, Andrew, but I guess if you're native there, it's like not a problem. He's saying there's foot races that start up there in Alaska. Mind you, he needed a hairdryer to unfreeze his doorknob.
Yeah.
And we're running outside from the 26th to the 31st. Wow. Cash and gift prizes. Yeah, you better get something for running out there in that weather. Goodness.
They've had a ton of snow. My parents are in Anchorage, and
There you go.
they've had like record amounts of snow this year.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I've seen live streams where they shut them down when they're
Mhm.
playing a bunch of stuff, and they shut them down for a couple of seconds, and then they come back up. They don't
Yeah,
shut them down completely, but then they'll do it again. Now, if you do it more than 3 times, then they'll completely shut you down.
It was the first
They'll
time.
send you an email. They'll send you an email saying, "Do not be playing this kind of music, or do not be playing these kind of videos, especially if it's like SNL is the worst one. You play anything."
Yeah, I got hit really hard. They wouldn't even
you
pick
get
up
hit
and
right
tell
away.
me.
That's that they're gonna take you down like real quick.
Yeah.
Anything with Mickey, anything with Disney, anything.
Oh, any of the
like,
licensed characters, like for sewing,
Yes.
it's huge
Mhm.
too. You can get
Yes.
really bad.
you can show it on your like say, oh look, I bought this Disney, blah blah blah. But you can't play Disney cartoons or anything like that because then they'll
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because there's
Now, there
people
are
who their
allowing
whole
you to
channel
play
is
the
Disney.
old Disney Mickey because
Yeah.
remember they lost the rights to that, the old style looking Mickey.
Oh,
like-
I didn't know that.
Just like Winnie
Okay.
the Pooh. Remember they made the movie of Winnie
Oh.
the Pooh?
Yeah.
Well,
classic
because the
Winnie the
rights now the rights, but they still had to change something on it. That's why they made it an evil looking Winnie the Pooh instead of
Pooh. Oh
the
god.
nice one.
No, harsh running
So,
negative.
That's what they do. They got to change something of it.
Yeah.
You know, even though like people, well, I talked about the whatever, you know, these guys that they're still getting away with what they shouldn't be doing. You know,
Yeah.
the review. Oh, I'm going to review this video. No, you're actually stealing because you're playing somebody else's video.
Well,
you know,
that's
they-
just like using people who have huge channels. I mean, there's
Yeah.
interview
The
there's
thing
interview
is, it's because
channels, and then
the
hold
person
on,
has
Mom,
to,
hold on just a second. There's interview channels, and that's fine. But then when you see people that it's like that's all they do is interview, and they're pulling in people that are
Yeah.
like they have million subscribers and things like that. For me, ethically, like you're basically making a channel off the backs of all those people that you're bringing in.
yeah. There's
And
a guy.
I
that
can
talked
see why YouTube might hit you for that. I can see like it's, they don't like that. YouTube will hit interview channels because of that.
On the bigger
Not
one,
if you're making
they
millions
won't-
for them.
Well, not
They
if you're
won't-
making millions. Yes, I know. But usually if you're using other artists like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But it's like if Mr. Beast is doing
Bushcraft,
it, and
Bushcraft
I'm
is
doing
actually
it.
faceless.
Oh yeah,
He's
Mr. Beast
gone
can do
through
whatever he
it.
wants.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Beast
that's
is
what I'm
different. That's
We're
I mean,
not
like,
on the same
Bushcraft
level.
was doing interviews and they kept snagging him. They kept hitting him. Was
Yeah.
that part of it? Did they get you on like reuse of any content, or did they say Bushcraft when you were doing?
It's because you have to read the fine print on YouTube.
Hey,
You know,
behave.
because if you follow exactly how they're saying you can do fair use, they will get you on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's not entirely true, but
That's
Well-
not what I'm been talking about. The fair use. I'm talking about.
it's the subject that I was subjects that I was talking about.
Yeah. Especially if it's anything political or religious or anything about the,
Well,
you know, all of a sudden they'll put a little thing on your video, you know. Yeah.
yeah, again, not really, but it was some of the stuff that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Medical stuff, even if
Yeah,
it was
okay.
true, I
Yeah,
still
yeah.
got hit on it.
Okay.
There was a certain guy that I did a video on. He shoots satellites in space. That's all I'm going to say.
Mhm.
And
I don't know who that is.
he did these. He has a company that anybody can go and find out that he puts chips in people's heads, and they
Mhm,
can
they are.
connect to the internet and they can browse through things in their eyes and stuff like this.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it
yeah,
makes it look
technology,
like it's a great thing too. I know exactly who you're talking about because it's going to help people.
Well, no, but
Well, if you're
the
blind,
thing
you
is,
could.
he had it set to where he did test, and he did this to pigs, and he had
Yeah.
these things inside pigs.
He did it with
And
monkeys too. I thought, didn't he?
He recorded a signal that came from them by walking around. He said, I wonder if I played the signal back to them, would it make them turn and go the directions I wanted to? So he controlled a pig
I
by
missed that part of that experiment.
redoing the signal back to through the chip in the head. So he can
Oh.
control things that way.
Yeah,
And as soon as I did this video,
scary.
which it got tens of thousands of views,
Yeah.
he followed me on Twitter before he owned it. He followed me on Twitter.
Hmm.
24 hours later, I got demonetized.
Well, yeah.
And
Any
One
controversial
of his bots heard
will happen.
that info, maybe from that video.
oh yeah,
Like-
he has his own. He has,
Yeah,
his,
he has
own
his own.
bots that
Hmm.
any information that talks about him, he knows. Well,
Yeah.
his people know, and then they tell him.
Exactly. That's scary. But of
I
course,
mean,
it's supposed to be the
everybody
new
has a
savior of
Alexa
humanity.
at home, you know, and that's
I'm sorry, man, what did you say?
watching you through there.
What are you
Like-
doing, buddy? No, not on the keyboard.
Well, guys, I hate to do this because this is like such an awesome panel, and I haven't gotten like Maureen's gotten to kind of say something. Form. Like, it's okay. Okay. But I have to go. My husband will be home soon and I need to do, wifey stuff so I don't look like I've just sat on the
The
internet.
honey-do list.
I love you guys for coming in, and this was a great panel. Bushcraft, you can come in anytime. I would love to hear, like, you are just such a brainiac. Oh, and you got the kitties, and that's what the internet was created for.
It's run by cats.
Look at his
I
little
will
fish.
see you guys on Friday. Maureen, are you going to be on Saturday?
Yes.
Okay, so I do my Fibro Friday during the day, and then I do the Friday night, Friday. Storms is on Sunday with his live. Bushcraft, what's the next one you have coming up? Are you doing tonight, Wednesday night?
Jeff does his on
Okay,
Wednesday
Jeff.
night. That has to be up, but I don't know if he is today or not. I have no idea.
Okay. Okay. And Brampton, you said you're starting to do lives too?
Oh, I used to do lives every Thursday night, and then last around kind of fizzled out, and now all
Okay.
of the spots are taken. So, and then I've been signing up for these library programs with my daughter, and
Yeah.
it's Thursday nights. So,
Okay.
Thursday nights aren't going to work. So I've been kind of just doing a few pop-ups now and then.
Yeah.
I haven't done one in ages. I do want to do one or whatever. I got some seeds that came in. I got to do some
Mhm.
seed swaps and stuff. And then,
Oh.
but it's like nothing's happening right now, right? Like I'm
Yeah.
in Canada. I have a gardening channel. I mean, aside from my
Yeah,
seed
right.
haul, there's not a lot going on. But January,
Unless it's indoors.
I'll start
Yeah.
on the stuff.
Doing the prep. Okay. That sounds good.
No
Everybody
one
check
watches
out
the craft
everybody?
stuff. I could do craft. I sew. I do all kinds of stuff. No one cares about
Yeah,
my
you're
sewing.
totally busy. I know you've been sewing like a maniac for the holiday season, I'm sure.
And nobody cares.
No, I think it's great. Are you kidding? I think it's
What do you
great.
mean?
All
There's
right.
so many channels out there about that.
Yes,
I-
but not
And-
gardening group, right? It's like my husband says, I gotta bring in new viewers.
Well, yeah, you have